Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we are back on Minecraft, and today is the final part for the Five Nights at Freddy's Manager Wanted map. This is the entire map review that I'm doing. Today's video, we're gonna be reviewing the entire map, and so I guess let's start with the lobby. And also, if you guys are wondering, the download is in the description, so you guys can download it. But anyways, starting with the credits wall here. Five Nights at Freddy's by Scott Cawthon, obviously. Map creators by me. And then we have information. This is a remastered version of my ultimate FNaF map created on Bedrock Edition. Though every location keeps the same layout as the original locations, but I improved upon them. New blocks, more features, new animatronics, usable cameras, and the mod pack actually works. That's about it. Hopefully you enjoy the map. Thank you. That's the credits wall here for you guys to look at. I did add posters, a bunch of cool stuff inside the lobby here as well. The lobby, I just quickly threw it together to get everything to work, and then obviously explore the ultimate FNaF map remastered. Right here you would press this button, and if we head to here where it says YouTube, it says @UltraPlushCollector is my social media, and then we have my Game Jolt account here. You guys can go check that out. And then time spent making the map was 78.48 hours. The mod pack used is Management Wanted. And then I have all of the rooms here with like the corresponding animatronics in front of their game doors. So obviously Five Nights at Freddy's 1, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and then the Fredbear's map and the Forgotten Fredbear's map that I did, my custom map. All of these are custom built maps. They're not any accurate maps other than Fazbear's Frights is like an exact replica almost. Still with custom stuff, but still an exact replica pretty much. Anyways, if we go in the rooms, you can see Five Nights at Freddy's 1. The room is accurate to what the pizzeria looks like. It's uses the same block palettes, and we have Explore Five Nights at Freddy's 1 here. If you press this button, it'll bring you to the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 exactly. So if you want to explore a certain map or any like location, you can just go into the room, the corresponding room, and hit the corresponding button. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, pretty complex, but it looks like this. It looks like a lot, but it's really not. I mean, it's pretty easy. I have the cutout here. All the rooms keep the similar shape. If there was able to put a table, there was a table on the left side of the room, a 4-block table, and there was some stuff on the right side. But we have posters, Balloon Boy plush, you can hit them, and we got some presents. Then if we go into Fazbear's Frights, right here, or Five Nights at Freddy's 3 should I say, you can, it says right here, Explore Five Nights at Freddy's 3, you hit the button, it teleports you there, and we have the Bonnie stand, the Foxy head, the wires, and obviously the black ceiling with the support beams. And then we have a Phantom Foxy plush, or a creator. And yeah, go check out the creators, the creator of Manager Wanted in the description. I left him in the description as well, so you can go check him out and download his mod as well. Alright, heading into Five Nights at Freddy's 4. This is probably the most different looking one, but it's the house here with the tile flooring. Obviously you have tile there to teleport here, and plush trap in here, the grandfather clock, and a drawer with the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 picture or painting. And then we have the Fredbear's Family Diner location. We open this door. This shows us what Fredbear's, the Fredbear's pal uses Spring Bonnie. We have the Fredbear plush here as well. You can hit it to make it honk, as well as the Spring Bonnie and Fredbear posters or whatever pictures. And then the carpeted flooring with the plants. And then obviously you hit this button to teleport you there. They all work. I'm just not going to hit them because I want to start from the beginning of the map. And then we have the Juniors animatronic here. This is the Forgotten Fredbear's map. Very basic, collapsed table and trash all over the floors. Probably could throw maybe a trash can here or something, but it's whatever. I think it's fine. This is the, by the way, if you guys did for some reason don't know, it's the complete finished map. But this is Explore Rotten Fredbear's Family Diner, which is what I called it because I don't really have a good name for it, so I called it Rotten Fredbear's, and it has the Juniors animatronics. Alright, and heading back over here, back to the lobby, and we hit this button here. this is going to take us to the map. So we hit this button, and here we are in the Ultimate FNaF Map for Java Edition, Remastered. First thing I want to start with probably is going to be, I guess, we can start with the loading bay. So we head down the pathway here for the loading bay. I did this nice pathway. All the trees and environment is all exactly the same. Oak trees with grass, wool block, moss block, and green terracotta, lime green terracotta. And I used the birch bushes or leaves for bushes, and I just did oak trees with grass. As you can see, there is some tall grass. There's not really much flowers in there, but some of them have flowers. Like there, you can see that's where a flower accidentally got placed. I just left it there. And there is, if we go to the border, there is a fenced off section. The whole map is fenced in, and there is the environment out there, so it's fenced off. And then if we head back out here and we walk on the pathway, you can see there are some stones I added down here, and a nice dirt path all textured up. And we're gonna have to go into spectator mode to get inside of here. But if we walk up to here, or command blocks could also do the trick, but I didn't do that. Anyways, heading into we do have this like nice gate I added, but let's go ahead and head inside of the loading bay. Alright, so we're inside of the loading bay here, and we have a nice parking lot section here I did, as well as some street lamps. If you guys want a more thorough review of each part, I will leave the playlist in the description for you guys to go look at. It will be in the description. You can go check out the playlist for a more thorough review of each section. But it's going to be kind of a quick review, not too crazy, because there's a lot to show. But we have the storage bins here, or storage crates. There's yellow, blue, green, and red ones, as well as some little sections here, and then obviously a fenced off section. And there is the environment back there. Then you head into the third storage place. This is like Fazbear's Frights, in a way, also having some of the rotten Fredbear's animatronics, like the Junior's Balloon Boy, and some of the movie props here as well, and obviously the Freddy and Bonnie stands. And then there's a Spring Bonnie suit, boxes, a bunch of stuff, posters, tile. We got a puppets box here, lights hanging from the ceiling, and the stands with shelves and paper pals and boxes here. You can open and close them. That's about it. And then posters to show for each what the supplies are, like Chica's, Foxy's, and then Freddy's stuff. And then there's a Chica head there. Alright, and then if we go down here, this is like a generator on the side of the building, I guess, with trash and stuff. That's pretty cool. If we head into the second loading bay building, we have the Five Nights at Freddy's 1. And it has each one has a little bit of Fredbear stuff. So we got like a Fredbear cut out here, and we got a board there, and Foxy. We got a computer here which you can use, pretty cool. And we also have a cupcake which you can't even do anything with. We got Chica, Foxy, plushies, all the plushes here on the shelves, Fredbear poster there, and tables, and just a big supply of stuff, and then posters on each box to represent the type of stuff you're getting. So yeah, those are Freddy boxes, Bonnie, Chica's poster there, for another Freddy poster there. Heading into the very first one, the first one I built. Also there is generators on the side of each building with trash cans. Heading into the first one though, this is Five Nights at Freddy's 2, due to being like the very first map I built. I put Five Nights at Freddy's 2 right here. But Five Nights at Freddy's 2 with all of the cutouts lined up against this wall, tile, and more plushes, as well as heads and parts, bunch of stuff just all up in here. And then we also have the fan, the computer. We also got Fredbear himself right here, and tables, as well as just a bunch of like stuff, and the boxes with all of the corresponding animatronics on them for the corresponding parts to be in the boxes. And then like a parts box here, and another little miniature security puppet box, I guess. Alright, and leaving the loading bay, we're going to head over to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So heading down the pathway, we got a stop sign I also added. And if we go down here to the Five Nights at Freddy's 2, we can walk all the way down here. We also have this nice road I did with just using deep slate and gray wool. and dark gray terracotta, and quartz. And then we have the grass field here with all the rocks in it. I did a nice grass field for this one with rocks and everything. A bunch of stuff just all up inside of this area. And we can head down here. It's just all grass with the trees kind of like blending in to make it blend in a little bit more. And then I did the parking lot with the added like different types of stones and obviously coral blocks to create a variation in the parking lot to make it look a bit nicer. And then I did more street lamps, and we have obviously the sign here for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And right across the street is, obviously you can see across the street from it is Fazbear's Frights, and Five Nights at Freddy's one over there. And then it has like the way to drive out and the way to drive in here. You know, you pull in and you park. And then the building, the exterior itself, is pretty detailed. It looks like a lot, but really it wasn't even that difficult to build. This is actually my favorite exterior that I've done on this entire map. It looks really, really good. I personally like this one the best. But we got the Toy Freddy and Toy Bonnie posters, Toy Chica here, Mangle there, and pizzas and stuff. Side of the building doesn't really have anything. If I go to the side here, you can see it's just a brick wall, you know. And then it kind of takes movie inspiration a little bit. It could be cool if the movie pizzeria looked like this. And then I used mud bricks for the pathway, and I did like some cutouts as well, a little playing section, and then the thing to block cars from slamming into the building. And then obviously the Freddy Fazbear's sign again. And heading inside to the entrance room of this place, we have the entrance has a bunch of stuff. We got like the front counter here, the chairs, just a bunch of stuff. Like, I mean, I guess I'm not going to do much talking for it, but like, there's not much to look at, you know. It's just a lot of stuff you guys can look at and see on the screen. But if we head into this room, this is the second, or the main showroom, the first showroom. We got Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica. I set their arrangement up differently because I didn't think their arrangement needed to be exactly like the original game. So I just changed it up, and I added them a nice little background there, which I think this looks amazing. This is probably the best stage I've built on the entire map, in my opinion. Probably this is actually my favorite pizzeria I did on the entire map. It's the best one. You know, it looks so good. Even though it was the first one, it's still my favorite one. And then you can see the walls here. Pretty nice. Heading into this room, this is like a backstage, the backstage room for the thing. We have like a button here. Should be like you press it, you know, it doesn't really do anything at all. But we have a parts box on the table, which I actually didn't remember putting that there. But it's there. We got creator plushies here and light switches to turn the lights on and off. That's that room. And then heading into the second showroom here. Also, I did add booths here as well. Heading into the second showroom, this is Toy Foxy's showroom here. Pretty cool. Or Pretty Mangle, whatever you guys call her. And then we have Balloon Boy here as well. All the tables, you know, some carpet. And then going in this door, this leads you to the price counter, or behind the desk section. This isn't the price counter, this is actually just behind the desk. But we have the computer there, and a chair here for the guy working here with the register and everything, and, you know, lockers. Not with really anything in them. Don't mind the fact that I have command locks. I have not deleted those yet. Alright, and then we have a vending machine here, which you can't even do anything or interact with. We walk into the arcade room here. This has the prize counter here, where you can see all of the plushes that you can get and win, all the prizes here. And, you know, computer there, register. Arcades here to win the games. And, you know, a bunch of stuff. And then the puppet here in her own, on her own, very own stage. And we can turn the light on and off as well. Then if we go back here, behind the second show stage, we have another backstage room here where they would just repair Mangle or, you know, Toy Foxy, whatever. And then we have another creator plush. So that's pretty cool. And then if we go to this room where it says employees only, this is a little supply closet here. There's really not really anything in here. We have a light in here and, you know, posters, chairs, just stuff. Then if we go down into the staff hallway, this has cameras you can see here as well. And we have the restrooms here, the men's here, and the women's restroom here. So going in the women's restroom, it's just, you know, a bathroom with the hand dryer stalls. We got the stalls here. You know, pretty cool. And that's about it. I did the walls orange in here and used diorite for the roof. And then we have some tables and all that cool stuff going in here. The men's restroom, it's just got urinals. That's literally all that, the only thing I changed. Going to the kitchen here, see we got the employees only sign. The kitchen has a stove here, pretty cool. And we have cabinets with, you know, nothing in them, and the ovens. And that's about it, you know. There's that. And then if we head down to the parts and service hallway, or the second staff hall, this hall has the parts and service door and the exit door. If you go out the exit here, you know, pretty basic exit. It leads us out to the alleyway where there's a Spring Bonnie and a Matronic suit, and some trash piles with, you know, some grass growing there, and that's about it. And, you know, trash cans. Going back to parts and service. Parts and service has, we turn the light on in here. Parts and service has Withered Chica here. This keeps the exact same layout as the original one. The whole building is the same as the original map. But this one is like very reminiscent, you know. I put the animatronics in the same positions that I remember them in. Except for Withered Bonnie and Withered Foxy, I swapped them. But in here, I did do like a kind of open roof thing with vents and support beams. I think that looks pretty cool. And then I have Withered Freddy, obviously Withered Foxy, an out of order arcade machine, tables, chairs, a guide, so you know he could sit here and work, do his computer work. It's pretty cool. And then if we go in here, it's really dark in here, you can't really see anything probably. But we have the power lever here and Withered Bonnie standing here. That's about it. And then if we head down to where the what's it called? The staff hallway number 3, I guess. I don't really have a name for this hallway. It's just the main hallway in front of the office. It's just a hallway here. Basic stuff, you know. And then we have the party room. This is the only party room in here where they celebrate birthdays and stuff. I just combined 2 party rooms. Instead of doing 4 party rooms, I did 2. And just combine them into one big one. And then we have a puppet plush in here. And puppet cutout. You know, this room's very vibrant, very nice, and very colorful. And then we have a vent here, obviously, which leads to the office over here. And also the puppet has a vent connecting to her stage where the puppet can come through the vent and walk into here. Also, we have the hallways here, all the cool stuff, and the office with the working doors. And if we go into the locker back here, not this one, this one, we can grab the tablet out of here, and we can actually use the cameras. Yeah. Pretty cool. And we're gonna just put this back. And then that's about it, and you know, sit at the desk and look out the window. Alright, so we're gonna head over to Five Nights at Freddy's 1. And then I'm just doing it in the order that I made the maps. So we're heading over to Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and then 3, and that'll, you know, I guess let's just go to 3 actually. It's right across the street. Let's just head straight to 3. Alright, so walking up to Fazbear's Frights or Five Nights at Freddy's 3, it's just a big old brick building, massive brick building, and it's a massive big building, and I did the parking lot here, and I kind of surrounded it in trees, so it looks, you know, I guess darker. I don't know, it's supposed to look a little scarier. I did vines all over the building to make it look like it's an older building, although the inside is actually really, really clean and nice looking. But the parking lot's fairly basic. I did really the same stuff. But heading inside, this brings us to the lobby section where obviously you would buy your tickets to go in, and we have a big old Freddy face there with the sign here as well. The bathrooms, the men's restroom here, and the women's restroom here. And then I actually never added the mirrors onto the wall. It's fine. Anyways, we have a Freddy trash can here, some overhangs with chairs, and then back here is just like a storage closet room, I guess. kind of like a storage room where they just store supplies, stuff on the computer. They can access that kind of stuff. And then we have some of the plushies that you can buy, like Phantom Foxy, Nightmarian, and Nightmare. And then if we head into here, open this door up, this brings us into the attraction for Fazbear's Frights. I'm going to grab some night vision because you guys will not be able to see really anything in here. Alright, so with night vision, you can see that Springtrap is right here. We have a vent which he has broken through to, get to the office. Just to let you know, Fazbear's Frights is an exact replica. Like, this is an exact replica of Fazbear's Frights. Pretty much just a one-to-one copy, but still with different decorations. Like, I added some deterioration to the floor, and I also did like same thing as Final Fantasy Freddy's 2's parts and service room. I had an open roof with support beams and vents. And then heading into this room, if we close this door, this will bring us into the second room. This has the Chica head, another vent here which he has broken through, and this section is barriered off, blocked off, because the only way for him to go through, he would bust through this and open that up. But obviously it doesn't work like that because it's Minecraft. Then we have the Puppets box here, which you can open and close. We got a Freddy head, Puppets mask, and another Nightmarian plush. Here, this is the arcade room. Everybody knows about this room. The room that has all the arcade machines in it. Has an out of order one, bunch of stuff, the Bonnie here, and some tables, more destroyed flooring, and another vent right here. And posters all over the wall. Spring Body poster. Going in here, because this is the hallway that he can cross through. That has two entryways, but he can go into this hallway, and it has cameras here because we'll see there's cameras in this place. And we have a vent here that's another blocked off, which you would have to break through to open up. But it's all like just, same stuff, boxes, shelves. But if we go into this room, this is the room with the Bonnie stand and the Foxy head. I moved the Foxy head from inside of what would usually be inside of this section to here because I had something I wanted to put there, just to change it up so it's not an exact copy of Fazbear's Frights. But it's close enough. But if we go into here, this is like another room where this is where you could buy prizes and stuff, a chill room to get away from the horror and all the scary stuff. And then you just go in here with all the supplies and, to go back here. It's about that. And then if we head into here, this is the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 office here. Literally an exact copy pretty much of the office. I just added some deteriorated flooring, the Freddy stand, and obviously the exit there, the cameras, and the office here. Pretty cool. And if we sit down, we can access the cameras through this monitor. You can see everything, And then also in the lockers, we have the tablet right there, just in case you want to use the tablet instead. And then also the parts box. Going through the exit here, this just brings us outside, where if we're out here, we just walk all the way down this. You can see there's trees all surrounded here, which in the original review this wasn't here, but there is trees here because I added an environment. And then we just head all the way down here, and this leads us back to the front of the building, which is where you would exit the thing, and you would just get in your vehicle and leave. Alright, now we're going to go head down to Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Alright, we're heading into Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I got me some chicken, because my hunger is going down. Eat that up real quick. But going to Five Nights at Freddy's 1 here, you can see we have another sign there, which does have the logo on it. You can't see because it's not loaded in yet. But it's there, you can see. We got another sign. And the front of the building, I'm not a big fan of this building anymore. I like the shape of it, I just don't like this. I'm not really a big fan of that anymore. But the side of the building, I actually did a different parking lot. I did like a side parking lot here with the alleyway there. And we'll get to that at the end of the review, because that's like the last thing to show. And then the side of the building is just, another brick building. But going inside, we're just going to go straight inside. Getting inside, I have the entrance. I don't know why that took me a minute. We got the entrance here. It's got chairs, carpets, bunch of stuff, cutouts, posters, and stuff. And this is the front desk here, where the guy would be at the register. We have a pizza box there, and you know, another board here to mark stuff. And then back here is the safe room. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And the safe room has the arcade machines in it, a bunch of stuff, you know. Just a lot of stuff. We got a hole in the ceiling, you know. I made the safe room where it's like, obviously this building was built to replace Five Nights at Freddy's original one, and this is the original safe room, and it's still just here, moldy and decaying. And then we have the old Spring Bonnie suit in here. Alright, and then going into the main showroom, this is where the main show stage is, the tables. I just did different color tables, booths, a big open sun section, sunroof, I guess. It's where the light, natural light shines in. And I also have, obviously, lights around, and we have the main animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, with their own little background section. Going in here is a little backstage room, I believe. Yeah, this is the backstage room for the main showroom. Then going over here, this is parts and service. Walk in here, it's a nice brick room with a puppets box in here. And then Endo 02s, because Endo 02s look cooler than Endo 01s. And the Endo 01s didn't work anyways. Then we got a Freddy animatronic there. And then if we head over to here, this is like a little lobby section here for the restrooms. Once again, it's just, you know, men's restroom. Well, this is actually the women's restroom. This is the women's restroom here. Very basic. We go into the men's restroom. You know, blue, urinal. Crazy, we got toilets inside of here. And then if we go over to here, this is the kitchen. I really like this kitchen. I think this is the best kitchen that I've done in the entire map. This is the, you know, best kitchen. It's really small, but it looks like a kitchen and it gets the job done very well. Then going into the staff hallway, this has the storage closet. Pretty cool. And then we have the manager's office here as well. You can head into the manager's office where the manager can do, you know, all of his work and that kind of stuff. And we got a spring-mounted plush with filing cabinets, you know, a bunch of stuff in here. And then if we go to the exit here, this, you know, is the basic walls, and it leads out to the alleyway where we head down here. There's a dumpster here, and on the side of it is Golden Freddy. I actually didn't know where to put this guy in the pizzeria, so I just threw him down right here. You know. Oh, and if you guys don't know, there are secrets on this map. Some people were, in my streams, were asked for stuff, and you know, I appreciate them popping in the stream and watching me build and struggle through this project. So I added them in here somewhere. You guys, if you want to find them, you'd have to download the map and, you know, look. It'd be difficult to find them, I think, unless you're, you know, just super smart. But I don't know. They're here somewhere. Anyways, going down the right hallway to the office, it has the Chica poster. You know, it has the corresponding cutouts for the corresponding animatronics. You know, of course, the cutouts corresponding to the animatronics that come down their corresponding walls. And then we have the office here. Just a good old FNaF office with one a button that closes one door. Because I couldn't fit, I didn't like the buttons here on these sides. Didn't like how it looked, so I didn't want to put it there. So I just made a button that closes both doors. And then we got a creator plush, and here for the tablet, which is just, you know, we can just get on the chair, open up the monitor, look at all the cameras, you know, that stuff. And then this is the left hallway here. I moved the storage closet obviously from here over to the manager's hallway. And we have Bonnie cut out here and a Foxy cut out. And then you can notice Foxy's Cove isn't actually right here where it typically is, and the stage is typically there. But Foxy's Cove is actually inside of the arcade room, which I think is really cool. I think this is a much better layout for Five Nights at Freddy's 1 than the original layout. I actually like this a lot better. I think this would have been cooler if the layout looked something more like this. Just my opinion. But anyways, this is the arcade. I did like kind of like a pixel art wall thing. I did like some mountains, I guess, with stars and the moon. And then camera here to look in here. We have all the arcade machines. We got, I think this is Price King. Sorry if I don't know his name. You know, I don't really know anything about FNaF 6 other than the scrap animatronics. Then we have the prizes here. You know, you can win the plushes, and we have the computer here. Could, you know, go buy some stuff. It's locked for me, but that's that. And then Foxy over here in his own cove with his little like sand background. You know, his room doesn't have anything crazy. His area, he doesn't have a background stage because he's just a side animatronic. And then we have stools here, which kids could sit in. And then this is the backstage for Foxy's Cove. Much bigger room than the backstage for the main show stage. But the main show stage has the parts and service room, so it's okay. But that's everything for Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're gonna go straight to Fredbear's Family Diner, which is right across the street from Five Nights at Freddy's 1. So let's go. Alright, so we got across the street here, you know, look both ways, make sure no cars are coming. Also, the tunnels are copy and pasted between the tunnels. It's just like glass there with black. But we have the going to Fredbear's here. I did a nice little curved in road section, and we just walk up to Fredbear's. I'm not going to do the parking lots. You can see everything that's here. We got bushes there, the sign. The building is as well. It has a side part over here. If you go down to here, there is a little side alleyway. Very, very small. We can actually just show you this. It's just trash on the side of here with a camera outside. But the side of the building is just the same thing. It's like a brick building, but with the same pillars. And I did this one a little different than I usually do. I put like glass up there. Going inside of Fredbear's, you have the prizes here. You get the prizes from right here. This building is significantly smaller than all the other buildings on the entire map. Like, there's no building as small as this one, not counting the house. The house isn't a building, but this is the smallest building on in the entire map. But the Fredbear's here. If we go down the hallway, you can see we got Bonnie, Foxy here. This is, it's kind of like the Fredbear and Friends thing that was here, but you know, they don't have that installed yet. The Fredbear and Friends animatronics, obviously, like the Bonnie, Freddy, Chica, Foxy, they're not installed yet. So, you know, it's just a small building. But the office here, left hallway, has the office here with opening and closing doors as well. And there is a camera system, tablet here. Can look at all the cameras, you know. And then we have a vent here on the right hallway with another cutout for Spring Bonnie. Spring Bonnie would come down this hallway, and Fredbear would come down the other hallway. And then obviously the exit door here, which leads out into the alleyway. And then heading down to where the main showroom is, we have Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Pretty cool. And then we got the arcade there. Very, very tiny arcade room with a ball pit that's out of order. We'll get to this ball pit in a few minutes. But we do have the out of order ball pit and the arcade room, main showroom with the animatronics. They got like their own kind of wall thing there. And the kitchen here right next to it. It's probably the worst kitchen on the map, but you know, it's a kitchen. And then if we go down here, down this hallway, we have the storage closet. We actually got storage supplies, because at this time, the only reason this one, the other ones don't have it, is because I didn't know this stuff existed. I could not find it. I didn't even know there was a mop or this shelf inside of the mod until I was building this one. And, you know, so I just came back and fixed it. But if we go here, this is the restroom. This is the neutral restroom, so men and women can use this one. Got like the thing to set up for like when you're changing your baby's diaper. Got the mirror, stall, urinal, and then the manager's office. Nothing to say here. It's an exact copy of every manager's office I've ever built, just with, you know, a different block palette. And then if we go into the employees only, or should I say parts and service, this has all of the retro animatronics that need to be installed. Like I said, Fredbears and Friends, all the retro ones are in here. Unwithered Bonnie, Unwithered Freddy, Unwithered Chica, Unwithered Foxy, and then that's literally it. That's in here. Alright, and now we're going to head to the forgotten, or should I say abandoned, Fredbear's map. So, the way to get in here is this ball pit. I might take a lot of fall damage from this, but we jump in. And here we are. This is the original Fredbears in my kind of like lore thing I made for this map. It's the original Fredbears before this new one. The new one was built on top of the original one. So now that we're underground, we're in here. This is what the old Fredbears looks like. This layout is based off of Project Fredbear. It's completely it's a completely new thing added for this map due to me adding like new stuff on other stuff onto that map. The first one, I went to add some new stuff. You know, this is kind of just improving my just to see how good I could do on a pizzeria. But anyways, this is like the main showroom. You can see we got the old Fredbear here that used to be in here, which is just Withered Golden Freddy. Just Withered Golden Freddy, but it's the old Fredbear. I would consider, and the lore thing behind it is Spring Bonnie was brought up to the new pizzeria, and he was repaired and refurbished for use up there. And then we have, there's actually like 4 Spring Bonnies on this map. So, and there's 2 Withered Golden Freddys on the map. Maybe 3, I'm not exactly sure. But we have all this stuff here. You know, rocks, rubble, trash, holes in the floor. See, we got a big old hole here with moss and stuff all growing up in it. This place is just really old and nasty. It's trash everywhere. You know, there's not really any like decorations in here. It's just all cleaned out pretty much and thrown away. Big old hole in the wall here with a wall toppled over. We go into here. This is the second showroom with the nasty Junior's animatronics. Old and disgusting that they were just left down here to rot. So we got Junior's Bonnie, Junior's Freddy, and Junior's Chica. Junior's Foxy is also in here. We'll get to his room eventually. But if you know in Project Fredbear, there is this room here where you come in here and it has all the retro Freddy, Bonnie, Chica in here. And you know, that's that. But if we head down over to here, this is the kitchen here. Pretty cool. It's just a destroyed kitchen. This is probably one of my other like least favorite kitchens because I just don't really like it. I guess it's okay. Probably because it's all destroyed. I'm not really good at building kitchens anyways. But this is the hallway that just leads to the office. It's trash industrial boxes here. And then we have a vent here that's blocked off by garbage and you know more boards, and the ceiling as well has holes and lights that don't even work. And then we have the deluxe doors just to make a difference. These doors do actually work. If I was to have like one of these pressure plates, they'll close. There is no cameras in here. We do have lockers, a toppled over locker here, a toppled over shelf. We got a monitor here which doesn't work. You know, the office here, destroyed desk, bunch of stuff here. This place is very dark. That's why I have night vision on in here, by the way. It's very, very dark. And then we have the vent here which you can't go inside of. The vent is collapsed here and you can see the surrounding environment, showing it underground. And then we head down here. This we can head out of this vent here through the other side, which this leads us down to where we run into the arcade room, and there's a massive hole here so we can't even cross this. So we're gonna go all the way around here, and this goes leads down this hallway, and we can go into this room where this has a blocked off door. I'm not going to show you guys what's behind there because, you know, once again, that's for you guys to check out. But, this is blocked off here. Bunch of stuff here. You know, just vines, all the garbage, ripped up carpet, and, trash all over the place. Posters, and then heading into the arcade room. The arcade here, there's a bunch of arcade machines in here. Trash, rubble, destroyed arcade machines. 1 arcade, 2 arcades have fallen inside of here. Inside this hole. Pretty destroyed place, and there is also another arcade here that has been toppled over or knocked over. Then if we go over to here, this is the restroom section. The women's restroom sign has fallen down. The men's restroom is still up. We head into the men's restroom. It looks like this, you know, almost unrecognizable other than the fact that there's a sink here. We got a mirror even fell over, but you know, it's a restroom. The women's restroom is completely unrecognizable. There is, you know, no sign of it being a bathroom. It's just here. massive hole in the ceiling, like just massive. I think it's the biggest hole in the entire building. Huge gaping hole in the ceiling. And then if we go into this room, this is Foxy's Cove here, where obviously the coolest looking junior's animatronic in this whole entire mod pack. And probably the nastiest looking one at the same time. But Junior's Foxy in here, and we have his curtains all like ripped up and torn and fallen over. You know, a bunch of cool stuff here. Another hole in the ceiling. You know, it's basically this entire room. And then if we head down here, the actual only way out of this place is through here. This is going to take us to the basement beneath the Forgotten Fredbears. So we're going even deeper into the ground. And going down here, this brings us, you can see here, like a transition into the wood to bring us down into the basement, where it actually isn't nearly as broken up down here and beat up. But we can actually take off the night vision here, so let me go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so without the night vision, this is what this place looks like. We have like a workshop room here where the Henry and William would have done work. You can see obviously the Springlock animatronic endoskeletons are down here, hanging on some chains. We have an old plush trap chaser model. This is just like a parts room for the retros. Like the juniors and stuff down here. They would have done work in here. Then we have a conveyor belt section here where they would have transferred parts to some unknown place. I don't even know. But then we have this room here. And if you're wondering what this is an elevator. And this is where we're going to exit the map. So this is going to take us to Five Nights at Freddy's 4, this elevator. This is going to be beneath the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 house, is where it connects up to. And let's go ahead and head there. So if you hit this button here, you see we teleport. And we look down, you can see, you know, we have gone up. And we're in the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 basement. So, this is the, we got Fredbear and Spring Bonnie down here, obviously. It's just a very basic room. Gray walls, lights here to turn on and off, and then going here, this is supposed to be a metal ladder. This is like the bunker door to come down up in here. Instead of this location, this is what you get for the bunker. It's like this down here workshop place. But in here is the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 labyrinth, so we're gonna actually need night vision to go and check this out. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So, going into Five Nights at Freddy's 4, this is like the room. It's just an exact copy, like Fazbear's Frights of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, with a little bit of differences. You know, some ceramics on the walls there, just to add a little bit more. We have Nightmare Chico though here, at our corresponding hallway. Nightmare Bonnie on his corresponding hallway, as well. The Nightmares look amazing in this pack. Great job to the creator of the modeler for these. Amazing job. But going into here, the actual bedroom, we have Nightmare Freddy in here with the bed, the clock, which does work, and we have the closet with Nightmare Foxy in it. Once again, amazing job to the modeler. They look great. Like, look at Nightmare Freddy. You can't tell me that doesn't look amazing. But we do have the like a purple bot here. I got all the stuff here, like drawers. I think these drawers are supposed to be swapped. I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be, like, this one's supposed to be there and that one's there. I don't even remember. But anyways, let's head down to the plush trap minigame. Actually, I need to go close this door over here. Okay. Alright, and we have the grandfather clock as well. So heading to the plush trap minigame here. Plush trap didn't have a chair, so I couldn't give him a chair, but it's just literally just a chair there. And I actually, now that I think about it, the painting is probably right here. Is where it probably is. But the painting, I never knew where that painting was. I don't remember it from Five Nights at Freddy's 4, but it was probably right above Plush Trap. Anyways, instead of the red X, because this pack didn't have that, the mod pack, I just used a red terracotta block, and we have Plush Trap sitting down the hallway. And the closets have the extras, like Nightmare animatronic, like the extra animatronics, like Nightmare Fredbear. He's not an extra, I guess he's like the main thing in the game. But Nightmare BB, which is an extra, and as well as Nightmarian. You guys may be wondering, where are the Jackos? Well, we need to head upstairs outside of the bunker to actually see the Jackos. So, if we go up here, hit this button, This takes us into the house. You can see. And if we go over here to like the entrance room of the house, we got ceramics and paintings on the walls. If we go outside, this is what the house looks like. The house is actually behind Fredbear's. If you go into the trees here, you can see right there the brick walls for Fredbear's, all the way back here. And you can see this is Fredbear's back here. We got a fence over there. And then we have a pathway that just leads out to like a road, fenced, blocked off road. But going over here, this leads us to the like front of the house, the driveway. We have pumpkins here because when I was building the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 house, it was Halloween time. And we have Jacko Bonnie on the side of the house out here. Pretty cool. And then on this side of the house, we have Jacko Chica here. Nothing on trash cans on the side of this house. On this side of the house. And then we have one big tree in the yard. Once again, this is the entrance room. Go into this hallway. There's a clock there. And the living room here with an orange couch. The like chair or whatever. And then I have the posters and Spring Body poster. I have the Fredbear plush. Also, I have the kitchen here. Sorry, I don't know why. This kitchen's not too bad, actually. I kind of like this kitchen. It's very basic, but it looks pretty cool. Then we have the dining room here. I like the dining room. You know, it really feels like a dining room. I don't think this is the best house I've ever built, but I could definitely do a better house for Minecraft. But this is just like, I guess, a house. I don't really know what Five Nights at Freddy's 4's house looks like. I try to build a house that's more like a real life house. But this is the like this is supposed to be like an orange tree, I guess, for Halloween and pumpkins. You know, some boxes there, I guess. This is the parents' bedroom. Their closet. Some like random stuff in here. A lava lamp as well. Pretty cool. And obviously everything to turn the lights on and off. Then we got another grandfather clock here, which this is like Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Kind of replicates what this is what the house actually looks like. And you know, he's just in a labyrinth. He's dreaming. It's not real stuff. Like the stuff isn't real, so it's replicated in a way slightly to like look like it. Then we have what would be the Plush Traps minigame hallway, with obviously a fixed version of Plush Trap there, the window there. We have Michael's room. Pretty nice. You have Elizabeth's room here. Very small bed. Pink drawer. Toy Foxy plush. And her closet. Her drawer as well. Then if we head down over to here, this is a storage closet. Some supplies up there. A mop. And obviously the Nintendo lights on and off. And some chairs. Then down here we have the Golden Freddy poster. Just like reminiscent the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 pizzeria. We have the bedroom. The player's bedroom. The Fredbear with the microphone. Kind of, I guess, a small assist location representation. But, you know, it's whatever. And then, you know, plushies for all of the characters, the Nightmare animatronics, so Nightmare Fredbear, Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare Foxy, Nightmare Bonnie, Nightmare Chica, and then the purple fan up there, and then the drawers. And that is actually about it. And then also on the left hallway, I did do the windows as well, with an outside thing you can kind of see out there. It's kind of cool. Well, if you guys were wondering what this map completely looks like, I guess I'll give you guys a whole entire look at like what it completely looks like. This is from an aerial view of the map. This is what it entirely looks like. Loading bay, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, Fredbear's, Fazbear's Frights, and Five Nights at Freddy's 4. And the rest of the stuff is obviously underground. And The lobby you clearly can't see. I'm not gonna like make the lobby visible. But that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hit the like button, consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell to never miss a video or stream. The next build I'm doing is Security Breach. No more Management Wanted builds. I know I have the custom Pizzaplex, haven't forgotten about it. I guess that is a Management Wanted build, but it's going to be very, very rare that a video for that comes out, because Security Breach is the next main project, like for real this time. And I'm going to be spending most of my Minecraft hours on there. So, yeah. But go download the map. It's in the description. If you want to check it out for yourself, it's in the description. It's on GameJolt. Download it off the website because you can't download it from the app. I guess the app will just take you straight to the website anyways. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Bye guys.